Japan, a country where ancient traditions and futuristic cities blend seamlessly. From the towering skyscrapers of Tokyo to the peaceful temples of Kyoto, from the mouth-watering street food in Osaka to the relaxing hot springs of Arima, Japan is a land of contrasts, beauty, and endless discoveries. Over the next 14 days, we immersed ourselves in its culture, tasted its incredible food, and explored its breathtaking sights. Whether you are planning your own trip or just dreaming of Japan, join us on this unforgettable journey. Before we dive in, here are some infos about our trip. We visited Japan in the middle of November. The autumn colors were stunning and the weather was perfect, cool but not too cold. If you love colorful foliage, this is an amazing time to visit. That was our first trip when we decided not to stay at one place. We stayed at one hotel maximum for a few days. So that's why we decided not to bring luggage in the very beginning and we were traveling only with backpacks. We did buy luggage almost in the very end of our trip in order to bring back some snacks, souvenirs and tea. But you can do the same and, for example, buy an affordable suitcase in Don Quixote. Also, Japan is very comfortable for tourists. Luggage can be sent from hotel to hotel. No need to drag heavy bags through stations. Japan has an amazing luggage delivery service, so you can travel hands-free while your bags are waiting at your next destination. Important that you provide the right booking number of your next hotel, and also that surname and name would be provided the same of the person that made booking in the hotel, because otherwise there might be some confusions and you don't want to run throughout Japan and look for your luggage. Also, there are plenty of lockers for luggage at the train station and at some kiosks. It's also very convenient to store your luggage while you're, for example, on a day trip. Our itinerary: we started in Tokyo, explored Kyoto's temples, visited the friendly deer in Nara, ate our way through Osaka, enjoyed the seaside charm of Kobe, relaxed in Minobu, and then wrapped up in Tokyo. Of course, this is really personal how you build your itinerary. We wanted to see as much as we can, even though we visited Japan first time. And of course, it can be improved because we, as I already said, sometimes stayed at one place only for 2 nights. And sometimes we also did it because I wanted to stay in ryokan, in Japanese traditional house, and not only, for example, in hotels. So yeah, anyway, you can develop your itinerary according to your needs and desires. Some more infos about Japan: less YouTube, less anxiety. Don't over-prepare. YouTube can make Japan seem overwhelming, but in reality it's very easy to navigate. People are very open and kind and ready to help. Everything or most of instructions are in English. I don't know, for example, I watched many YouTube before our trip and I was a little bit afraid because it's another culture, another language, and I didn't know what is waiting for me there. But eventually, as I already mentioned, Japan is very open for tourists and it's also very comfortable for tourists. That's why no worries. You're going to manage there, and also I think it's the perfect destination for lone travelers. Also on YouTube you receive so much information about different types of transportation cards, but eventually what you need is only Suica. You can download it on your iPhone and add it to wallet, and that's it. At any time you can add money to it, and it covers almost everything. For long trips, if you're going to use Shinkansen, then of course you need to buy additional ticket, but there are machines almost everywhere, and also it's going to be a little bit expensive, but it also depends if your trip is going to be long and you need to book a seat, for example. When we went from Kyoto to Osaka, we even didn't book a seat, so it was also pretty cheap because the trip was only 20 minutes long. And also sometimes you need a limited express ticket because there are trains that they don't stop at every stop. Most of the time you also need to book a seat, and that's why you need to buy a ticket separately. But again, there are machines for it, and there are workers that are ready to help and to explain to you what to do. Also about internet, eSIM is enough. We also saw many videos where we were told that you need to buy additional internet or router or something like this, but no need to that. We were even in the mountains and in a far village, and everything worked fine. No need for masks. Unlike past years, masks are no longer must. Even Japanese people don't wear masks all the time. I also were very anxious because of YouTube videos where you were told that you need to be really quiet, but eventually, of course, you don't have to scream, or it's a bad manners to talk on the phone on the train, for example, but there is no need to whisper, and Japan isn't as quiet as people say. Everything is in English, signs, menus and transit. You can manage only with English. We did learn a little bit Japanese before our trip, but eventually what it helped with, it helped to connect more to locals, because then you order, or at least try to order food in Japanese, or says that it was really delicious, and they're really happy about it. So you can learn few phrases. Google Maps is enough. It gives train times, platforms, walking routes, and also even where is the exit from the platform. Skip the Instagram hype, please. Those famous Instagram spots expect 2-hour waits, and it is not worth it. A good example is Ichiran. We always saw that there are huge queues for it, but you can buy it in a vending machine and cook it at home. So why to waste your 2 hours in Japan, in such a beautiful and amazing country, for something like this? You can find much better places where locals go, and food is amazing, people are amazing, and you're going to not to sit in a place full of tourists. Follow the locals. If you are, for example, in the temple and you're not sure what to do, watch how locals do things. There are instructions everywhere. For example, I was really afraid to go to Onsen because I didn't know what to do, and I watched many YouTube on it, but eventually no worries, there are instructions everywhere in English, because Japanese people, they also want to make life easier for people that come there and for themselves, that they don't need to come and explain everything to everyone. And during our trip, we almost never had crowds and enjoyed places in peace, because we came early to places. We didn't do it on purpose, and we didn't wake up at 5 a.m. There is no need for that, but we did plan our trip so that we avoid rush hour, and that's why eventually we came to the opening time to places, and I think it was a good idea.